Welcome to episode 26, I believe, turn 51 of this Hinnom multiplayer series. What are we up to? We are continuing on with the new war on Atlantis and trying to wrap up Arverni. And we just lost our big fight versus Baratos last turn, so let's get to the turn. So the first thing, and I forgot to mention it last turn, as we can see, two fellows drowned, two Melqarts. These were my astral Melqarts, fully kitted to counter thug, and they were targeting this Basalt King in this lake, so seeing as they drowned, you should imaginally, that's not a word, you can imagine that I forgot to equip water breathing gear on them. I do believe I have water breathing gear somewhere. Maybe on someone. Yeah, on. Yeah, this guy's got one water breathing ring, but I was trying to counter thug this Basalt King with two Melqarts like I did earlier, and forgot to equip the water breathing equipment for them to do that, so that's a pretty big loss. So we see Shark Eater and Whisper the Pantocrator. We can see if we can revive them in the Hall of Fame. So here's Shark Eater, here's Whisper. So I didn't immediately know how to revive them, but I knew there was a death spell for it. Let's see where the spell is. Enchantment. Ritual of Rebirth, I believe. Needs death for. Not sure if I have any death for mages ready yet, but I do plan to revive them in the upcoming turns in case I forget to mention it. It should show here, so shouldn't be too big of an issue. So, Mind Hunt, we have one Mind Hunt here. The target was killed. I don't recall who that was. We see a battle, we see no PD, so that might have been a Heliophagus. Or a scout. Bakai. Let me check the Dom Inspector on my second screen. No, I don't have it open. It'll take too long to load, I think. So let's just keep going. Possibly a whatever I just said, a Heliophagus, which is a big blood summon commander with true invisibility. I think it's true invisibility. With some innate thug items in the kit. More corpse constructs, site searching. We'll do site searching first. Looks like no sites were found. We have second Mind Hunt targeting the same province. No commander was found. Third person targeting that province. No one was found. So that indicates to me that it was the Heliophagus we killed with the first Mind Hunt, but we triple casted it to have better odds of killing it. So that's a really nice gain for us. Baratos is struggling to blood hunt anymore after my raid spree over his forts. So, besides that, just the sort of usual now. Horseman construct, Pale Riders, Claymen, and Vine Ogres. So I'm making 4 types of gem troops pretty consistently now. We see a battle here. Baratos did a Centaur on us. He got a Ami. We'll see what type it is, if it was carrying any equipment. Let's turn on squares. Fire on me, so no, it wasn't anyone important. Just good. I think some of my major buff guys with equipment or other options Baratos could have tried to snipe. Oh, that's another site searching, but failed. So suddenly a Sair transformed into a horror and attacked in the blind rage. Okay. Does it say where that was? No. I think this is the battle. That's a scout. Isn't it? Okay, so this is a second horror seed, I believe, that's popped, and these are presumably from Baratos. I'm not sure how long it takes for them to pop, but I've heard it's something like 10 plus turns, generally. Or maybe around 10 turns. It just sort of horror marks a bunch of stuff in the province. So if we look at my army, here's a horror mark. Here's a horror mark. Horror marks on these guys. Oh, a couple horror marks on the commanders. I'm not sure how useful it is unless you're gonna do the blood global. What is it called? It's like arcane corruption. So if he's spamming a couple, what you call it, horror seeds, which are right here, indicates he wants to cast astral corruption. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind going forward for us. More messages. Fight Baratos here. Is this anything? It's 5 troops versus 1 PD. Let's check out this next fight. We have us fighting Maverni. 2 mages, it looked like. Yeah, so it's nature mage, air mage, so creeping doom and an air elemental. That's kind of a neat combo because it's a multi-faceted attack. You have these giant scorpions with stinger attacks for poison. I think like most of the bugs do poison attacks. Yeah. You have flyers to like quickly harass the enemy, and you have a size 6 ethereal trampler to harass. So the combination of all 3 makes for a pretty potent attack against crappy troops, and even a couple mages potentially. We have us attacking into Atlantis, and this is the army now besieging our throne. We have a Jade Sorceress just pinging. I think that's just pretty much what we had available. This is a pretty serious looking Atlantis army. We have 2 Assault Kings with a bunch of gems. Astral gems. Must be carrying it here. Thug kits on all 3. Fire and Earth. This guy was fire and earth as well, so some big battle spells he could cast here. He also has a lot of his Recruit Anywhere mages, so I think they're water 2 based with a random of 2 paths, it looks like. Could be Mind Duel. So this guy's boosted. He has Clam of Pearls, Reinvig. That screams to me it's anti-magic. Has water gems on a water guy. Could be Warriors of Nephil something. The thing that gives fire resistance. It should be very good versus the Firestorm. Yeah, I'm not seeing many more mages. But that's a pretty good assortment of mages. He has these high quality troops that are a bit difficult for my troops to fight head to head. Just with their much higher attack density and very damaging attacks. Like these Basalt Spears are two-handed weapons, so they get an additional bonus to strength of 25%. So you can see the 4 damage plus 18 would be 22, but he's getting an additional 4 bonus. So, yeah. And with piercing on it, which ignores 20% prot, it's gonna do good solid chip damage against my armies of gold giants. If they hit. We have another raid on Baratos, just 1 PD. Merverni's attacking us. Little army squad, where's this? Right, it's right here next to one of our thrones. Right, I think this was his hero. No, it's a summonable commander. I think we saw that last turn. He's just raiding with it. We have 2 events, minus Dominion. People are starting to worship false pretenders. I don't know if that's just a one-off minus Dominion or if it's an ongoing effect. And we get 650 gold. That's a nice income boost. Right, so on the Merverni front first, we have our army sieging down this next fort. Inside we see this side Jarvelian walls. So it looks like that's a gem. Not a gem, it's a site castle. So that's interesting from Merverni. And sort of generally, looks like the war against Merverni is about concluded. He has Miklin still, but this castle is being sieged down. There's a couple of raidings he's doing up here. So, we don't have the forces mustered to attack Miklin. We have to deal with this first. Who's coming here? Right, we have a Great Hawk coming here to just raid it back. I think we have someone moving back here. Right, this guy's moving back here. I'm not sure why. Have our prophet moving down to the Merverni capital to help preach. Anything else we're doing on the Merverni front? No, I think we're just merging a bunch of guys here. Yeah. Have another Great Hawk coming here to help patrol. A little mage raid squad is walking back in. We're just sieging down this fort. And we see that this army from Arco has backed away from the border. Back to this throne. And we see a huge Drakon in this army. Who's named Weird Dog. I think that is his pretender, right? Weird Dog the Drakon. Okay. So looks like he's really worried about us attacking him. Or he's looking, well, he was gonna eat off of Micklin or Merverni, he had a long time to take his own bite. And he never jumped on it. So yeah, I imagine that he might be in contact with Atlantis and they're talking in general about my quote-unquote throne rushing. I see an archdevil here. Interesting. But yeah, this army is probably here to put a check to this army. But for now, I'm just looking to consolidate. I don't know... Okay, well, first off, I have no clue what research Arco has. So to do a blind attack at him with this army would be very risky, as if he smashes me, there's not much I can do to defend the lands in Merverni I just gained. There's also Saramadia on my left front I need to worry about if he's looking to join in. And I think I forgot to mention. Dire Portent. This is Gift of Health, it looks like. Yes, it is. I feel like this went up earlier and it was dispelled. I feel like it was, and this is a recasting of it. I'm not sure if I dispelled it or if someone else did. Might have been Merverni dispelling it too. Yeah, so looking at like we're almost at the post-war spot for Merverni. We did a lot of deep raiding initially, but we're not keeping a whole lot of it, but we do definitely have our own chunk. We are getting a lot of this sort of core territory around his capital, especially the capital itself, so that's a really nice gold boost once we get our candles in and we get unrest down. Our candles are even already sort of passively pushing into Merverni's old land, so that's really nice for us, so we don't have as much preaching to do once Merverni's killed officially and his candles pop out of existence. But Merverni's got pretty good gems in his lands. A lot of nature, a lot of earth, scattering of other stuff. Not a lot of astral income though. So he did get this sage site, which is nice, and this covenant site, which lets you recruit disease healers, which is pretty sweet if we were not a nation with outright healers. I don't see any particular use for these ladies for us. But sages are good, but we don't really need the research anymore. We're already above 2,000 research, we're already getting a moderate chunk of our endgame tech goals. So we're more worried about getting combat mages. Right, that covers Merverni. Next front we'll cover Baratos. Excuse me, yawning. Still have like the remnants of that army sort of pulling back. These guys are going to this wasteland. These guys are going to the wasteland. Our Melqart is coming to raid here. So we see Blackhawks here. So we're saying that's a Blood Hunt province, let's disrupt it. Keeping Baratos' blood economy down, I think, is the most important thing to do fighting him, if we're not going to kill him. He has to be pretty gold constrained with this big standing army, and after 50 turns of mage recruitment. And with all this raiding, he's getting a lot of unrest. 30 unrest in his capital, 50 in this one, 20 here, and I'm sure this fort has some. Yeah, We're still foul vapor trap on this throne. Little screen of people in front of him. Just sacrificing this person if he comes to it. Doesn't look like we're doing anything else. So the last front is Atlantis. We have people coming down to this lake to attack. We have a thug just on Bless attack. The Bless is there just for reinvigoration, I believe. Right? We don't have anything else in the... Yeah, it's just reinvigoration and blood surge for more reinvigoration, primarily. So yeah, he's got our Scutada... Latin. Not good at it. He's got this auto cast shield, Shocking Grasp, on him, and Firebrand now. Firebrand's got the armor piercing, so it really punch through his iron skin and armor he's got equipped. Oh, also we have water elementals coming in, and he's on advanced and cast spells for Frozen Heart afterwards. Don't recall if that does 10 damage. How much? Innate frost resistance. These guys have 5 innate frost resistance, so Frozen Heart will do a bit of damage. Right, so that's this lake. Who's coming here? Just a preacher. Yeah, and obviously there's the big, if you haven't noticed, half a dozen arrows pointing to this throne. We are coming to fight this army that we showed earlier. He has 11 mages, a couple preachers, and a troop stack, and we have this refilled, regrouped, recharged, maybe recharged army from the Rust capital, where we dumped a whole lot of gold into these Horites. And that was like 2 turns ago, 1 turn ago, and it's moving out. Like 1 turn of recruitment got us 50 new bodies to throw in the front line. So, Horites really coming in clutch. So what are we doing in this fight? We have giant pile of mages. We have earth mages in the front. We have some fire mages behind that, and another second line of fire mages. And you can see it's 2 mages in each square, in that second line of fire mages. Behind them we have astral mages. We have 1 astral mage in each tile for those potential mind duels. And we have them in front to hopefully catch mind duels for our astral mages in the back to be safe. We have 1 nature guy, 2nd nature guy. We have mass regeneration howl. And we have Serpent's Blessing and Relief. We also have our standard army of gold, and this Adept of the Golden Order is doing our Firestorm and has a astral healing afterwards as a sort of spot filler. Yep, okay. And as a reminder at this point, this is still before the patch where they buffed Firestorm. It still costs 5 gems to cast, so you can't boost from 4 to cast, like overcast it with the 4th gem. Meaning right now, in the current version of the game, it costs 3 gems to cast Firestorm. It's a bit rambly, isn't it? I guess point being, it needs 5. You need 5 fire gems, and you need to be at least 5 paths to cast it. So he's doing Power of the Spheres, and then Phoenix Power to get Fire 6. Then hopefully cast it with 6 gems, and this is because if you do like a min cast on it, he's gonna take 300 fatigue over the limit, which might just kill him. So we need to overcast it by quite a bit. I guess looking back, you could maybe do Phoenix Pyre first and then Firestorm, in case you do kill yourself, but then if he spawns on a bad spot in front of the enemy, that doesn't help, so. No, he'd be over fatigue, so he'd just kill himself. Yeah, alright, so we see another stack walking towards the throne potentially. We have a scout now in this fort to see there isn't much more in here. So this looks like Atlantis' main investment into his war against us. So obviously it's 11 mages versus our giant pile of mages, and we're drawing a lot of our mage research base as well into this fight. Wait, where did I click? Okay. Yeah, this big pile of mages from Russ. I think primarily Russ. We are not including air mages, notably. We don't really have a good way to cast Storm besides these indie mages, these witches. We could do like a Cloud Trapeze in this Air 3 to do a Storm, but I think I'm just valuing getting more bodies through Corpse Constructs first. Yeah, so soon but not yet, we'll start looking at doing Storm stacks included in the fight, presumably. There's a fly flying around me. Go away, fly. Yeah. For troops, I guess we already showed. Horites in the front, and notably these are guys without the fur. Here. So the fur does make a difference in how much protection they have. So you see 9 body protection here as a base versus 2. And with Armies of Gold, this will be 20. But these guys will be like 22, 23. So it's a noticeable difference when the enemy is doing, 26 damage plus piercing. I think we're doing Dawn Guard troop recruitment where we can. Cutting some mages this turn. I'm noticing we're doing Horites up here. I think we're just trying to add in some bodies because it does look like this army's getting bigger over time a bit, so he's either getting humans or reinforcing with demons, and either way I think we just need more bodies to fight him in a straight up fight. Depending on how, we don't know for sure if this will, how much damage a Foul Vapors will do against him. And it's not very likely to kill a lot, with there being so little chaff to help keep the guy alive, but we're hoping to primarily just get a couple, lucky mage kills and maybe 10% of troops or something like that. You'd be happy to kill 10% of the troops and a few mages. Are we doing anything else? Who are we mind hunting? We have 3 mind hunters. We're targeting 50, 50, 50. Where's 50? We're targeting this Archdevil, so that'll get a very good value if it kills him. We also know there really shouldn't be any mages in there, since he's had this fort for a good while, but there's never been mages in there. So we can presume it's probably not labbed, and the fort might just be there as like a gold income bonus. Right, so what are we doing? A lot of items and boosters this turn. We're casting double water breathing rings afterwards. Looks like we're crafting a lot beyond our Dwarven Hammers base this turn. I think like we're feeling a bit of pressure from the 3 wars. We have a good gem stockpile, so just trying to recharge on items a bit. And this is through, I think, 5 hammers or 6 hammers of production. So just looking here, we have 4 in that province. 5th one here. And this guy's just charging out fire boosters and firebrands. This is alright, we empowered with fire for that cross path. Oh, I'm only counting, I think, was it 4? 5? Must just be 5 hammers, but it wouldn't hurt to get 1 or 2 more. We're definitely big enough with a big enough gem income to have a couple more hammers. So yeah, big action for this turn. We're sieging down this last southern Marini fort. We are converging for a massive battle against Atlantis. It's a huge mage commitment, huge army commitment. Don't think we showed all the troops, did we? We got distracted. So, Horite's in the front, Dawn Guard in the middle, with the first time we're deploying our corpse constructs. They're in the 3rd line. They're really not useful troops besides being chaff. And with the 2 holy mages he had in there, they'll be eating some banishment, so I'm not sure. Feel like they should be in the front, maybe on a sparse line, not in the 3rd line. And we have 4 squads of Long Dead Horsemen. Also on Horde and attack. I guess we'd want the corpse constructs to maybe catch banishments over the Long Dead Horsemen, so not sure if a line and them being in the 3rd line is the best positioning. Oh, we also have 2 Melqarts equipped to Thug. Also have a gem carrier, so yeah, we didn't lab this throne province yet. I think we've just kind of been over-infrastructured, so we didn't need a lab there yet. So that's why we're bringing a gem carrier. Once again, using these black servants should be harder for them to die against random remote attacks, since they have more HP. Also more the same MR as this guy. Any other neat stuff? Right, our Vine Ogres we're doing in Russ. You can see the first 9 here. We have our Bishop Fish preaching here. Don't think he can preach it any higher now. I think we're also not doing any blood sacrifice, if you're wondering. And we haven't been since we don't really have a secure blood income yet. Like our blood income's primarily just from the capital passive income, and when we happen to have Melqarts not being busy. But our Melqarts are extremely busy right now, so we're fighting a 3-front war. Alright. Didn't look like I was... Not sure I don't think I'm doing anything else. Something to note on this Atlantis war is this Azure Academy we got a while back is very useful against Atlantis. Having these innate amphibious mages is useful. And the gift of water breathing as well. It really opens up the chance if you want to go for this throne from Atlantis. And with our troop summons we're getting, corpse constructs here, they're amphibious. With these vine ogres down here, also amphibious. The claymen are also amphibious, right? Yep. So we have a lot of gem troops we can send to go underwater against Atlantis. And with these Azure mages, and choosing between either the cheap guys or the water 2 guys, we have a good mage line. We can help support the army. Alright, hey, that covers it for this turn. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.